Hello, Stuke and Stukers. What is the biggest difference between fighter planes from the 1930s and modern fighter planes? The old had propellers and almost all of the new ones have jet engines. But there was one plane that was ahead of its time. One with that technology. The ME Messerschmitt 262 Schwalbe. Well, it wasn't the first airplane that used that technology, but it's the first one which was successful and mass-produced. The place of the first plane with the jet engine goes to the H.E. Heinkel 178. The development for the Messerschmitt ME 262 started in the autumn of 1938 by the RLM, or the Reichsluftfahrtministerium. 3 prototypes were made under the name of the Project 1065 or P1065. It was developed by Messerschmitt and its first test flight was on the 18th of July 1942. After a more or less successful test flight, Messerschmitt was instructed to produce the new airplane. There were some issues like waste gas getting to the cockpit, but these were immediately fixed later on. Between 1943 and 1945, 1,433 copies were made. It was made for the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe. The plane should lead Germany to the victory of the Second World War as one of the Wunderwaffen or wonder weapons of the Third Reich. At the 26th November 1943, the 5th version of the ME Messerschmitt 262 was shown to Adolf Hitler. He asked the chef of Messerschmitt, Willy Messerschmitt, if it would be possible to put bombs on the plane. After the chef said yes, the dream of a Blitzbomber or lightning bomber came to Hitler's mind. The devastating damage of a bomber combined with the velocity of a fighter plane. But in this case, it would even outrun anti-air. But that dream hit hard on the floor. The ME 262 was not built for a task like that. It couldn't see the bottom, so it was very inaccurate. General Field Marshal Erhard Milch said to the idea of the Blitzbomber, Mein Führer, das sieht doch jedes Kind, dass dies kein Bomber, sondern ein Jäger ist. This roughly translates to, My Führer, every child would see that isn't a bomber, rather a fighter plane. Now we get to the specs of the Schwalbe. It is 10.6 meters or 34.7 feet long. It is 3.84 meters or 12.59 feet high. It has a span of 12.65 meters or 41.5 feet, compared to the Supermarine Spitfire, which is 9.46 meters or 31 feet long, and it is 3.02 meters or 9.9 feet high, but that varies in the model of the Spitfire. It has a span of 11.22 meters or 36.8 feet. The Schwalbe has 2 UMO 004 jet engines, which makes it possible for the plane to fly at 900 km per hour or 559.2 miles per hour, compared to the Supermarine Spitfire, which flies at 584 km per hour or 362.8 miles per hour, or the North American P-51 Mustang, which flies at 703 km per hour or 436.8 miles per hour. The Schwalbe has a range of 1050 kilometers or 652.4 miles. The distance of the plane until it is in the air is 1300 meters or 4265 feet. The highest altitude or surface ceiling of the plane is 11.45 kilometers or 7.1 miles. The total flight time was around 50 till 90 minutes. There were many types of the ME 262 Schwalbe, but most of them got the same armament as the basic type. It was armed with 4 Mk 108 30mm caliber cannons, where the ones on the upper side had 100 bullets and 2 on the lower side had 80 bullets. The cannons were made by Rheinmetall, which is still active and known today for like the Leopard 2. Some planes even got R4M rockets, which were used against other planes. Some reports of the ME 262 was at Japan because the Japanese wanted to make a fighter jet. They've made the Nakajima J9Y Kike and the Nakajima Ki 201. The deployment of the ME 262 began in the summer of 1944. The most battles were not that good. Not that the plane was bad, but the Allies just had more firepower. The first one battle with the Me-262 was on the 26th of July 1944 under the lead of Lieutenant Alfred Schreiber, when the first hunting bombers over France got used. The most successful pilot of the Me-262 was Kurt Welter. Even when 1,433 copies were built, not more than 100 were ready for duty at the same time. The problem was, at the time, the Allies did mass bomb attacks, and there was a lack of fuel, spare parts and trained pilots for a plane like the Schwalbe. Beside the Arado AR 234, the High Heinkel 162 and the Horten H-9, the ME Messerschmitt 262 was one of the most advanced fighter planes for its time. After World War II, blueprints, components and even complete copies of the Me-262 went to America and the Soviet Union. The Me-262 was the most influencing technology for upcoming jet planes for the whole world. There you have it, one plane completely ahead of its time, but still not a winner. But after its official service time, it inspired almost all fighter planes to come. Thanks for watching the video. I was very happy to see the positive feedback from the last video. I'm probably doing a video once per week. You maybe noticed that I'm just a student and have school and stuff, so sometimes it could be that I'm learning, but I'm trying my best to keep the upload date on Sunday. The next week's video is going to be about the A7V tank, so be prepared. Have a nice day.